All right, and we are live. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Let me make sure this microphone is correct. It tends to turn down on me. Sort that out. All right, and we are going to do another Natty or Not. I am taking a request here from my list. I had people give me about 15 or 20 names. So I'm going down the road investigating these people. Keeping in mind, when I say if someone's natty or not, I'm determining if it's reasonable or possible. It doesn't mean they are natty. Anyone who is a fitness influencer by profession is automatically suspect, okay? Because that's a reality. Plenty of them are going to do, and it doesn't mean that they got amazing results. They may not have a great genetic response to gear. Their training may suck, whatever else is going on. So in the case of this guy, I went to check out FitnessFAQ or FitnessFAQ. I'm not sure how we pronounce it. I did a little digging, looked just slightly at his history, looked at his physique, and I'm going to go into details of why I'll give the guy the natty pass. I don't think his results are unobtainable or unreasonable in any way for someone who's natural. And I'm going to state this for several reasons. Yes, the guy is obviously very lean, but having a low body fat itself is not indicative of gear. Now, please note that's not the same as having a certain type of shredded look. There are certain looks that are created by anabolic substances. We need to be clear on that. So when you get really, really lean, there are certain hardening substances, DHT-based anabolics, that will make you look harder and grainier and drier at a really low body fat, sometimes even not at a low body fat. Okay, so that is also what we're looking at when someone's really, really lean, is assessing that and how full do they look, right? Are they striated and full, or are they striated and stringy? Now, in his case, the guy's obviously very lean. Guy actually has a good physique. I would say by most people saying the average person looking at him. And when I say natty, because again, I tell people you're not going to get very big without anabolics. That's just the reality. People can deny that all you want, but he's not that big, okay? And I don't mean pro bodybuilder big, because those guys are on way more stuff than anabolics. Like anabolics only got people ever to like Arnold big. That's basically the upper threshold. Those guys are using all sorts of other stuff. But in his case, he's not that big. He has a good physique. He's very lean. He's got good arms, right? He's got great arms, especially for his size. He's at a low body fat, got decent abs. I mean, so from a physique perspective to the average person, I think the average guy starting out who's just now new to fitness might look at that guy and go, hey, man, I'd love to look like that. And I think most guys would be extremely content with his physique of saying, yep, that's like an ideal. But it's not anabolic big, even mild anabolic use big. It's just not there in terms of size. All right, number one. But he is very lean, and the guy's got good arms. Number two, he has over a decade of continuous training experience. I look, and he's like, this is my 10-year calisthenics transformation. Guy lives on mostly, looks like weighted calisthenics, but he does a lot of curls, which explains why his arms are big. I'm like, man, my arms never got big doing weighted chin-ups. I've had to do curls, and I'm still playing catch-up. So I don't have the best biceps from my powerlifting days, even though I was strong at weighted pull-ups and chin-ups. So I've been having to play catch up now that I'm doing more physique stuff. But in his case, you look at it, and the guy, he does a lot of dumbbell curls. Guy does a lot of weighted pull-ups, a lot of weighted dips. He's been doing serious calisthenics training for a minimum of 10 years, from what I can see. Yeah, it's not unreasonable results, guys. Like, that is not unrealistic for a drug-free lifter, someone who's natural, who just got really lean. That's kind of the dead giveaway too. The other big one, the big one for me, proportions. Guys, when they get really, really lean, their delts tend to pop a lot. And I'm not saying he didn't have some good striations from the side, like his front delts are really good probably from all the weighted dips he does, but he doesn't have any pop to the side delts. His side delts are suspiciously underdeveloped for a guy at his body fat. Okay, why does that matter? Because anabolics tend to disproportionately grow those areas. Okay, and a lot of people are not aware of that. We have the most androgen receptors. Humans have more androgen receptors in our upper pecs, our deltoids, and our traps than any other muscle in the body. Therefore, when anabolics come into the mix, we get disproportionate muscle growth. Coincidentally, one of the muscles that is most notorious for growing much faster on steroids is his weak link. And he's at a low body fat. And it would be different if he was at a higher body fat. We could say, well, that can mask out. But he's really lean. The guy's probably under 10% body fat. I'd estimate something in the 9.5, maybe 10% range. But the delts aren't popping. There's no roundness. There's no pop. That's, to me, indicative of no steroids. So if he does use steroids, he's been off of them for a while. So where does that put the guy? Puts him into natty territory. So when this topic comes up of analysis of, do I think the guy's results are obtainable natural? Yes. Do I think they're reasonable natural? And do I think most of his look comes from doing a fair amount of arm work and just being really lean? Yeah. Yeah. And he's not that big, but the guy has a good physique. So I am by no means being a hater. The guy obviously has a good physique, obviously trains really hard on calisthenics. For a natural, he does actually have a really good physique. But is it unobtainable in 10 years of really hard training? I mean, the guy looks like he pushes a lot of weighted dips, a lot of weighted pull-ups from what I can see. I mean, he's putting in real work. So it's not unreasonable. It's good results. It's not unreasonable given the number of years he's been working hard. That's totally doable. Totally doable. So even though he's a 2 million follower influencer, I'm going to give him the pass. So we have not had a single comment in here. How do we have 21 people, 7 minutes deep, no comments? There we go. I was planning on test my Wonder at Max next week. I ended up with a flu last week and it messed up my diet and sleep. I don't feel 100% yet. Would you try to peak again and test in a month or so? You could peak again and test in a month, or you could just walk in and test it. I mean, we should be strong year round no matter what. You can test a max anytime you want. All right. Or you can do a West Side where you're maxing every week. I hit some heavy lifts every week, all good. Your views on a Kaizen pneumatic resistance machine. I don't know what that is, but any pneumatic resistance machine is going to get the thumbs down from me by default. It's garbage. No, stop trying to reinvent the wheel. Use weights. Use weights, brother. Why are you messing with crap like that? Go away from trendy stuff like that. And I'm not saying machines don't have their place. There are some machines that are phenomenal. I think the reverse hyper, I think a lot of machine squats, absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing devices. Junk like that has no reason to exist. JT says, yep. JT, what's up, dude? You doing good, man? Where's the bench up to today? Where you at? Let's hear how you're doing. What's your bench programming look like, by the way? Break it down for us, man. Of course, I had to deal with some people in the chats. I got rid of a bunch of the nonsense. I'm tired of just dealing with the nonsense. I'm not going to put up with it anymore. I thought it would be interesting to let it run, getting rid of it. Trying to claim that guys like natural hypertrophy, that my deadlift was only 50 pounds stronger than him. I've deadlifted 635 on camera with just chalk and a belt. 635, right? He failed 500. His 500 would be a fail. Not even saying because of the straps. He had to have straps to try to lift it. It would be a no lift and meet too. So 135 pounds success versus a fail. You guys can't go there. They say pneumatic resistance. Who's they? Ram, who is they? It sounds like a Nietzschean thing. The they, the them. They say Kaiser. Well, yeah, they're selling you the crap. So if I sold you a bunch of dog turds and I called it doggy bowling and my company was called Doggy Bowling. And then I told you that this dog poop ensures optimal testosterone in your body if you take the dog poop pill, and it was called Doggy Bowling. Would you then say that they say that it caused that? Doggy Bowling said it. Why would the people making it lie to me? Why would someone making the scam garbage product possibly lie to you, Ram? Maybe because they're selling you useless crap and they need to lie to you for anyone to buy it. Also, why do you care about equal resistance? I mean, has equal resistance ever been required to be the Mr. Olympia? Like, to win the Mr. Olympia or to win a world level bodybuilding show, has equal resistance ever been required? Has it ever been required to break world records in strength sports? It doesn't even seem to be a factor. So who cares? I mean, we can talk a lot about strength curves. We could talk a lot about joint angle specificity, but you're sure as hell not going to get it from these pneumatic things. All right. Trevor says, Jason, 42, 6 foot, 195 pounds, squat 505, bench 370, deadlift 705. Dude, that's solid. I maintain 10% body fat, around 25 fat free mass index. My lifts have stagnated. Dude, those lifts are so elite for 42 right now in your body weight. Okay, so you have legit elite lifts as a master's one. You got a 25 fat free mass index lean, and you're now entering those 40s where hormones are starting to decline. Your lifts have stagnated. I hate to have to be the bearer of bad news. I don't like to have to tell guys this because it's very, very rare that anyone truly reaches their natural limit. My friend, I'm going to say, is probably where you are. Maybe if you were 10 years younger with that, you might squeeze a little more out. But now you're at 42. Now you are where your hormones are in decline. And if you're not doing any replacement therapy or anything, and you're at those lifts, and you're already at a 25 lean fat free mass index, you see where I'm going? All right. I think you're probably at the precipice where you may need to look into getting your tests tested, maybe some HRT, something to think about. A 605 deadlift. Yeah. I mean, Trevor, I would look into it. Go get your levels tested, see where you're at, dude. Would be my advice. Although, how tall am I? I am 5'9", but I'm not even going to go into the arguments because everyone puts up fake stats. I'm legit 5'9", which means I technically should be writing 5'11" everywhere. All right. Yeah, still 605 deadlift, solid, dude. It's almost that's almost near my best max in my 40s. But you're doing it completely nothing. That's pretty dang solid, dude. I'm gonna give nothing but respect. Coach, thoughts about having a lot of pickles when dieting at low calorie? How sensitive are you to sodium? That's really what it comes down to. Do you find that life gets better for men? Certain aspects do. What's the secret to looking huge while getting so lean? To get huge. To actually have a lot of muscle. Wallow, that's standard. I mean, I've been next to Jeff's side. We're the exact same height, and he claims 6 foot online. I've been next to people who claim 5'8" on their official online stats, bodybuilders, and they came to hear on me. But I'm 5'9". This is 5'8", internet stat. See a problem there? Like, Kai Green is like here to me, dude, in person. I've been 2 feet from him. All right. Yeah, Rom, the secret is to be really big. Like, I weigh 99 kg because I know that you're probably not in America based on some other stuff. I'm 99 kilograms, dude, my body weight. She was actually, you guys, I don't want to talk about all that, Thriller. I actually made a promise to some other friends that I would not discuss her. So I'm not going to even answer. I'm not going to answer that at all. She loved really tall heels though. And I'm going to leave it at that. She loved like 4-inch heels, but she's tall. She's really tall. But no, she's not taller than me. All right. But I'm going to leave it alone from there. The fact that you even know her name, you're probably a troll. I should probably just get rid of you. All right. Except that she's been on my channel. So fair enough. A long time ago. But I'm going to not discuss her. I'm just going to drop it. Fair. But I think that's a reasonable thing to mention. Nobody's being offended or insulted. Wallow, that will not be a topic of discussion at all. I'm talking recently, Thriller. I had a conversation with some mutual friend, and I made a promise to not discuss her. So I made a real life promise, not an internet promise. So I'm going to leave it alone. No, they didn't press me, Thriller. It was something we agreed to just be nice. Like we agreed, it's just a good way to keep peace with everybody. Because you have to keep in mind, I'm still really close with some of her friends. I was introduced to her originally by mutual friends of mine who I knew a long time. So again, it's to keep peace. I need to keep peace in all my friend circles. Daniel, I've already given my whole spiel on him. I don't know if he's a pencil neck. I mean, the guy's muscular and fit. He's not big, but he's definitely fit, super fit. What's a stronger, camber bar squat or safety bar squats on a regular bench? Okay. I need to step back. Your question is really long and monotonous. Give me a second. Okay. Which is like, can we break this into multiple questions? All right, hold on. Which is stronger, camber squat bar, or safety squat bar, or regular barbell back squat? Name 1 to 3 which we can lift the most weight for the overwhelming majority of the population. You will be strongest on the regular bar, second strongest on the cambered bar, right? Third strongest on the safety squat bar. There are exceptions, but I'm going to say for 80% of the population, it's going to be in that order. Wallow, it would get enormous amounts of views, but I'm not going to discuss it. Middle East, no, that's not true. Because you said guy. I've never gotten it on with a guy. So no. So you completely misheard whatever was said. Now, if you would like to change the word guy to a woman, how about we use the word woman instead of female? How about woman? While extremely intoxicated, yes, that did happen. And it's embarrassing. Coach, haven't you seen he's weak at the bench? Well, I guess there you go. It's not. It doesn't transfer as well as people would like. All right. Coach, you have any advice to do muscle ups for someone who can only do pull-ups? No, go to a calisthenics channel and get tips on how to do a muscle up. And of course, I know this one front squat will be less. Yeah, PS5 front squat will be the weakest. In terms of strength and being jacked, who do you think is the most impressive natty in the fitness industry? I don't know. Have you ever gotten into an argument in the gym with someone for not re-racking their weights? Possibly. I don't remember. I may or may not have. I don't know. I could have at some point. I live in a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, not an apartment. All right. Can calisthenics athlete like FitnessFAQ even deadlift above 3 plates? I don't know. Unless they deadlift and build their posterior chain, probably not. Coach, any tips on how to reach the point of doing pull-ups? Is it assisted pull-ups machine or lat pull-downs? Lots of rows. You could do band assisted pull-ups. Middle East, I could really care less. I personally already dislike equipped powerlifting personally. So the idea of an equipped overhead press shirt is just ridiculous. I mean, in theory, someone could make it. Said, can FitnessFAQ even? I don't know if he can or not. I didn't look to see if he deadlifts. No, renting in Texas isn't that expensive. I pay right around $2,000 a month. What are your thoughts on Michael Hearn resting on squat and deadlift and bench for 10 minutes between sets and even rest 8 minutes? Okay, I didn't know he rests that much. Middle East, is there something wrong with you? You're asking really weird questions, dude. All right. Coach, do a natty or not? I guess I could do one eventually. I've been asked. I'm just saying, Middle East, that's a really weird question. You already asked a question about banging dudes, which you just made up. And now you're asking about wheelchairs. You're kind of a weirdo, dude. Just saying. All right. Yeah, I'm not answering. Wallow, actually, you're a weirdo too. You ask a lot of really weird stuff. Probably get rid of you here shortly too, unless you quit being weird. Well, just because he says Middle East beast doesn't mean that's where he's actually from. He could be living in Detroit. How about the live streams you enjoy? I don't enjoy the weighted vest walking. I do live streams during those just to give me something to distract me. I never bought into the calisthenics better than weights. It's not. I always see the smallest fitness pencil neck youngsters doing a bunch of BS like muscle ups, but all for what? They're small. Yeah. Do you think science-based fitness makes someone gay? It's only gay if the balls touch. How can you quickly find out whether someone is natty online? I mean, I've give you guys all sorts of info. Can you help with my plate pullover form? Sure. Set up a consultation. Oh, you're one of those. Maybe he lives in Middle East Detroit. He could. It's possible. Jason, you almost banned me. No, I said at the start of this stream, I'm just getting rid of the nonsense. Yep. See, here's the thing. I'm free to change my mind at any time. I make the rules of my channel. I'm free to change them at the drop of a hat. Favorite animal, cow. Who's this natty or not over? FitnessFAQ. Already covered it. Thoughts on Jeff Nippert saying Eric Helms gives? I don't know that Eric Helms gives the best fitness advice. Eric Helms is really kind of a sneaky snake who backstabs people. Well, Thriller, because I feel like it. I don't have to explain myself to you. That's how it works. I'm under no obligation to explain it. All right. Yeah, Middle East, I do not show up at my house. Let me make this clear once again. Random people from the internet are not free to show up at my home. You will be treated as a trespasser. Do you think Eric Bugenhagen is on an awful lot of gear? Obviously. PS5, I've been lifting for 4 years, 6 months consistently. I'm 23 years old. My bench is 290 max touch and go. 265. We don't care what the touch and go is. We only care what the pause is. Should I be proud of myself trying to get 315? Is it rare? No, it's doable for a natty. It just takes time. All right. So has his beef with the queer French guy died down? Is he submitting? I mean, he's still not willing to clap back. I don't know what's up with Frenchie. AR-10 versus AR-15, situationally dependent. Because my mind changes, Thriller. Thoughts on spider curls? I don't do them. They seem to be an okay exercise, right? I mean, if you're looking specifically like for a peak contraction, pretty good movement. If you're looking for a shortened position exercise. Would you still recommend the 2.0 and leave it as is, or recommend something new? I mean, I gave you guys a template for a later novice program, also a 3-day the other day for push-pull legs. But I think for a ranked novice without optimal recovery, the 2.0 is fine how it is. No, I'm a very decisive person on a lot of stuff, Thriller. There are things where I change my mind on. Yeah, that's cool, then, Elise. I'm just simply making a public statement so that everyone is aware. Do not show up at my house. It's very, very straightforward. Now we have it on record numerous times of me telling people that. Therefore, I have given proper warning. Coach, thoughts on Strap-on's latest video about full body workouts? Is he wrong? I haven't seen it. What did he say specifically, Caniel? Do you ever miss the UK? Nope. How would you approach the bands workout with the face pulls? Is how do you microload it? You can't really microload it. It's a bands, dude. You either add lots of reps or you add a bunch of band tension. Well, Thriller, then I guess then you don't want to post here anymore. All right. Thoughts on Alpha Destiny saying trap overhead press is more effective than conventional overhead press? Really? Who comes up with this silly stuff? I played WoW with you, your Paladin. Oh my God. No, you didn't. Can pause reps of 225 work and help get to 315? Possibly. Thoughts on doing your 5x5 novice program 5 days a week instead of 3? If you're trying, dude, you're going to do nothing but burn out and overtrain. Bagel, yeah, lots of pause reps of 225 will build your bench up. How much do wrist straps affect your bench? For me, they don't really affect it much at all. You're seeing me do the same weight like I just did this week. I did a 3x3 with no wraps and no belt with 315, just like I did with belt and a wraps a few weeks before. Coach, thoughts on Frenchie creating an anime physique program? Man, that's exactly what I expect from him. And that's exactly what I expect his incel followers to buy into. You're using gloves in the gym. Don't wear gloves in the gym. Unless you're Ronnie Coleman, he's the only one who's badass enough to get away with it. I only have dumbbells. What are the 5 things I should do with them? Get a gym membership with some other stuff. That would be at the top of my list. That would be at the top of my list. How impressive is a 55-pound incline dumbbell curls for 12? I think that's pretty impressive. Thoughts on the hip thrust to build big glutes? Yeah, it's a good exercise for glutes. You better be squatting and stuff still, though. I like your Miller pre. I don't know what that means. This guy at my gym tore his pec. His max pause bench was 275. He wore straps and loaded up 405. What? What? That French dude must just used to keep proving to all of us that he was a G incel anime dork. He was maybe the poster child of G incel, right? Probably. What makes you a man? I don't know. Is it the power in his hands? I don't know. What makes a man? Is it the woman in his arms just because he has she has big titties? I'm getting it all wrong. I think it's probably the titties. All right. Will buying Michael Hearn's duck eggs and frog machine build an anime physique? It'll totally build an anime physique. Arnold was a beast on incline curls and preachers. His range of motion, though, no one does anymore. Huh? The straps gave me confidence. If you are failing 135 for bench press multiple times in your 5FR program, how should you go about getting it done? You do a 10% reset, like the program says. What's with all these anime dorks trying to look like an effing drawing? It's so retorted. It is. I don't get it. Is 315 on 4 bench at 220 body weight good? Yeah, I think so. What do you think about Jews? I have plenty of Jewish friends. Some of Natural Hypertrophy's G followers seem to have entered his live. Yeah, they probably entered other stuff of his too. What will you do, Coach, now that even Noble Natty call outs? Oh, gosh. Well, how about we just get rid of you? Bam. That's what I'm going to do. NH does G for P. It wouldn't surprise me. I personally prefer to do straight for P. All right. Is a 500 box squat at 220 after 20? Yes, that's also good. 22. That's great. Oh, yeah, that tragedy. I mean, I don't want to do a moment of silence in a live stream over every tragedy, but that is tragic and that sucks. I heard about it just a couple hours ago, actually. It looks like we lost some of our Olympic athletes too. So that's, unfortunate. So we lost military people. We lost some of our Olympic athletes. Like, dude, that's like a serious loss. That's a serious loss for our country. In addition to just random civilians and people losing their lives, yeah, terrible. I don't know what to say about it though, because I don't know what caused it. And obviously there's going to be a pretty serious investigation, but I don't know what happened. Who's your favorite clients? Right now, I don't have a favorite. When you were younger, like 15, did you think? No, I didn't think so. If you had to start your own gym, what unique facilities approach would you take? I don't know. I miss Chelsea Lifts. It's sad. What happened? Wait, what happened to Chelsea? I used to talk to her. So what happened? Did something happen to her? Like, I haven't heard from her in like 10 years or more. So I didn't know if something happened to her. I haven't seen her post anything. She hasn't sent me a message, nothing. Did she really pass? You guys, can someone get confirmation of that? I gave her a bunch of advice. I even made some collab work with her to help her with some stuff at one time, really early on. But I haven't heard from her in over a decade. All right. Do you think the misinformation today in the fitness community is better or worse than it was? I don't know if it's much different, honestly. Yeah, Middle East, you're a weirdo, dude. No, but seriously, did something actually happen to Chelsea? Thoughts on Andy Richards bulking to 450 obese to press 500 and saying he's still healthier than taking. Yeah, that's insane. He would have been healthier if he just blasted 2 grams a year. Yeah, Middle East, you got to go, dude. You're literally accusing me of harming someone. Yeah, you got to go. The back injury. What back injury? How useful is getting a strength coach, trainer? Do you believe everything is on the internet? Depends on your knowledge level. I mean, if you have 20 years of experience, you may not need a coach. Otherwise, I think they're useful if you have the budget. I mean, I coach full-time, of course, I think it's good. I've got many people through plateaus. Jamie, I'm actually not a racist, dude. So no, I'm not going to support that statement. How many years does it take a 185 pounds guy to bench press 315? Very long process. How long is a piece of string? There's not a set answer to that. You can't set timelines on something like that. It could, someone with the crazy genetics might do it in 3 years, and someone else might not ever do it. It's not a course. Right now, I'm running a special for $200 a month, but it's about to go back to $250 end of the month. That's what I charge to coach. Them's the rules. Also, it used to be, I lowered it. If you guys could follow me on the Facebook page, I would appreciate it. Well, that guy was clearly a clown, but we don't know that he's actually from that region. He could be some just random dude in the U.S. Probably, yes. I'm not a big fan of knees over toes guy. It's my opinion. Do you think the slingshot, if you don't know how to tuck on your bench, it can be a useful training tool, but outside of that, it's just an ego stroke? No, you won't, Wallow. Chelsea List had a back injury about 6 years ago. I feel bad. She was a nice girl. She was really nice. I don't really know what to think of Joe Fazer these days. Are you talking about the Joe as I knew him when I coached him for a little while? Or are you talking about his current and whoever he is in later years and has become? Because I don't know what he's doing. He struck me as a good kid when I coached him. No, they're talking about Chelsea List. Chelsea Caravan. Do you think, where are we at? Right. Yeah, she used to have the channel Chelsea List during the whole OG era when we first all came out on YouTube. I did some collaboration stuff with her. And no, that kept it was polite. She was married, and I don't hit on married women. I'm 48. Okay. JK, I am 48 years old. How do mitochondrial biogenesis and neuromuscular plasticity interact during intense resistance training, and how the cortisol and testosterone levels affect the adaptations in dietary states? I don't know. Chelsea posted on Instagram earlier this month. No rips under the post. There we go. Good shape for 48. Appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Doing the best I can with what I've got. Then you coach. Yeah, I helped Joe get to a 405 deadlift. That's what he hired me for. Hey, Thriller, that's when drunk. And it wasn't all of them. It was kind of a one-time thing. It's embarrassing. Like I said, there's a reason I don't drink, because my behavior is embarrassing when I drink. And guess what, guys? I am like 17 or 18 days from my 6-year anniversary since my last drink. It's been almost 6 years since I've had an alcoholic drink. I think that's pretty awesome. You guys got to admit that's awesome. Come on. Even if you hate me, someone getting to a 6-year mark without a drink is an accomplishment. Thank you, Limitless. And I plan on staying sober for life. That is my goal. I hopefully plan to never drink again. Can I get buff eating peanut butter sandwiches only? I wouldn't recommend it. Coach, do JM presses overlap overhead tricep work, or are they both needed for? JM presses are potentially going to leave the long head a little understimulated, definitely. How do I help someone quit drinking? There's a lot of strategies. There's different approaches. They could do cold turkey like I did. If they're struggling with more, they could go into a self-help or some of those 12-step programs. Some of the programs are really good. Right? Alcohol brings out the bad side. In a lot of people, it does. It definitely brings out the bad side in me. Quitting wasn't hard for me. Like, I'm one of those people, I'm okay and not really tempted to drink if I don't have one. It's once I have one, it's the problem. Wine, tequila, Jaeger, certain mixed drinks, some whiskeys. Definitely, though, my hard drinks were tequila. Definitely tequila, and then Jaeger behind that. And I drank a lot of red wine. I didn't like white wines. Why are you only doing 80K on the barbell row? You can do way more, because when I do them super strict to failure, that's about what I get for 12 reps, is that 185 pounds. I'm reaching failure on it by going really strict. My back is lighting up. My back is doing good. So why do I need to do more? I mean, I can strap up, and you've seen me do a lot more strapped up and cheating. But does it really give me better back growth? I don't think that it does. Thoughts on Mark Ripto's lifting advice past the novice phase? I don't think it's that useful. Hey, Thriller, I don't want to really further discuss that, honestly, dude. And it's not because of other reasons. It's simply because I don't want to relive those sort of memories. Is that fair? I'm trying to walk a straight path there. Is there such a thing as targeting the elbow region of the arm, like doing skull crushers, jam presses, and hammer curls if possible? You're not going to isolate it, but you can put more focus on that area. How does not drinking affect your social life? It's generally, yes, Thriller, it really happened. Unfortunately, and let me be clear, Thriller, it's not a bragging thing. Thriller, let me state that again. That's not a good thing. That's not saying, oh, that was cool, that's awesome. Like, that was a piece of shit thing to do. And I'm not proud of it. Okay? It does not make me a good person. And it shows that when I drink, I am not capable of being a good person when I drink. I am clearly, when I drink, a bad person. Therefore, I choose not to drink. All right. Why not drink beer? Beer's nasty. I don't like beer for the most part, other than a few like draft type beers. But the regular stuff at the grocery store, like butt wiper, like just vomit, dude. Like, why do people drink that crap? I like Guinness and things on draft, but that was about it for beers. Like some of the really dark beers. But I don't really care for beer, and I'm choosing not to drink. No, it doesn't affect my social life. Music, it can be occasionally issues with some girls. So I generally have a rule, and girls know this, that if I take them out, I buy food and things, but I will not buy their drinks. And most of them know that. Friends of mine know that, so they're not cool. So I mean, they're cool with it, but I've had girls who are not, and so they're not gonna mess with me, and that's fine, because I don't compromise on it. I prefer not to buy drinks for people. I won't buy people drinks. I won't go get them drinks. All right. Are zero energy drinks like Red Bull still bad? I don't know that they're that bad for you. I mean, they're probably not great for you. Bill will give you a beer gut. Yeah, beer is not great for your body composition either. I've got my pail. I've got my stool. Oh, gosh. I've heard of some of my friends' wife socks in my mouth. Jay, that's weird. Coach, when you speak with this much self-awareness, it shows how unfair the negative judgment of you by some sections of YouTube is. Yeah, man. I mean, because I'm willing to admit that. Like, dude, when I drink, I am a bad person. Period. Like, I can look back and look at things that I did when drunk, and they're embarrassing, and they literally made me a bad person. But yet, when I don't drink, I don't do those things. So it's very clear to me that alcohol makes me a bad person. So I don't drink. I've chosen not to. Well, Bob, you just kind of outed yourself, but we'll see how you behave. If you can not troll, we'll let you stay. How's that? I see him. I appreciate that donation, dude. I don't even know how much that is in dollars, but all good. Appreciate it, brother. I'm only banning people who need to go. Out of all the noble natties, who would you say gives the most legit advice? From what I can tell, probably Bald Omni Man. Like, his training's pretty on point. Need a cigarette? Yeah, how about neither one? Because, Bob, it forces them to do work. And then it gets rid of the nonsense, and people notice everyone stays on topic when I'm doing it. All these other topics are in here now. It's keeping the chat flowing with good stuff, useful stuff. All right. Do you remember back in the day when they had to ban the pre-workout? They did ban some of them. Or you allowing strap-on in your stream? If he comes in here under his real account, if he's man enough to come in here under his check mark account to talk trash, I'll let him come in and talk trash. I'll let Vegan Gains come in and talk trash. I'll let Frenchie, I'll let Natural Hypertrophy come in here. But they got to do it under their real account. All right. All right. But notice it's keeping the stuff on point. Jack, yeah, I remember when Jack got banned. Interestingly enough, Jack got studied at a university, and it was determined it does nothing for gains. Frenchie's definitely riding strappy. I think so. The only question is does he wear straps when they give him reach around? Is that really true, guys? Did Vegan Gains, is that why his girl left him? I don't know. Like, I didn't necessarily think the guy was actually gay, by the way. So, but yeah, Jack didn't even do anything. So people are like, but it helps you get a good workout. But if it doesn't cause more muscle growth, then who cares if it gave you a workout that you perceived as better? If it doesn't produce more gains, see, that's a problem. So that meant whatever negative effects is stronger than the placebo. Because if you felt like you got good gains, what would happen? You would get more gains. You would get good gains through the placebo because you believed you got a good workout. So if these pre-workouts, when they're studied, produce no extra muscle or strength gains over 10 weeks, that means that there's something physiologically negative happening in the body to counteract the placebo benefits. Ooh. And I think it's the reduced recovery, if I had to guess. Is 30 sets per training too much per training? Is upper, lower, and a do reach? 30's a lot. Jazz man left Vegan Gains. I know he left, but his name is Vegan. That says it all. Coach, there's a video where he openly admits another instance. Frenchie, did Frenchie, can someone get me a link? I think Alex's training is pretty decent, but NH promotes a bunch of bro science BS. GVS has a bunch of excessive junk volume and makes him more obvious he's a fake natty, pretty much. Will you fight strap on in MMA? I don't want to fight anybody, but I suppose for enough money, I would probably fight anybody for enough money and just take the loss because it's about the money. I don't care about winning unless it's, you get paid $1 million for every round that you can stay in the fight. Well, in that case, I guess I'm going to dance around the ring and avoid them the best I can, or try to lay on top of them and hold them down so that they can't hit me or something. All right. FitnessFAQ Natty or not. I gave him the Natty pass. Is there any benefit to a 4-day upper lower versus a once a week for muscle group? I don't think there necessarily is, no. Dean Gaines' debate would not even be worth it because all he will do is get mad and scream when you start destroying him on live. I'll probably eat a steak in the middle of it. All right. NH probably was a virgin for his wife because he doesn't consider screwing men losing his virginity. What? Imagine fighting strap on in MMA. He would need straps and a lifting belt. He'd probably need elbow sleeves because he has those hypermobile elbows. Right? Like I can't get in the ring without the elbow sleeves because I got hypermobility. So if I try to extend a punch on Blaha to knock him out, knock the rest of his teeth out, knock him all over the floor, I would need the elbow sleeves. If I could even reach him with my 14-inch long arms. Jeez. All right. What do you think about barefoot shoes? They're all right. I've owned a few pairs. Your views on boxing training is a strength training. It's not a strength training method. Boxing is a legit sport. It's a legit martial skill. It's not a strength training. All right. Alpha Destiny seems like a decent guy. Except that he tries to trash talk me and he fakes lifts and has, I don't know, there's some issues there. Mainly he associates with and idolizes the guy who made his career trash talking me. So. GSP said that he only trains 5 minutes for 5 sets of intensity each session to mimic fighting, and he doesn't train beyond those or any other fighter. He might actually do that. I mean, there's a certain amount of logic to that. Music, I've literally accumulated it from dozens, if not hundreds and hundreds of different sources over the decades. All right. I would say my biggest influence, though, is Louis Simmons. Let's get rid of Chip. All right. But keep in mind, GSP isn't that big, so he's probably not necessarily doing tons and tons of lifting volume. I mean, from a sport specificity, I can't really say that he's wrong. There is a good amount of logic for that. Oh, because of the stuff from the other chat. You play Iron Man. I don't know Iron Man. I know Paranoid, right? If you want some Sabbath, I can give you some Sabbath real quick. All right. I probably need to learn Iron Man. It's a classic. It's probably not that hard to play. All right. I don't want to play all of Paranoid. And my subs aren't about to fall. All right. Yeah, I remember when the Hodge twins shot at me. It was in 2012. It's 13 years ago. All right. So the intro for Paranoid is goes. And the solo is. So then the song is pretty much just the rest of that all through it. That's like the only Black Sabbath I know. All right. I don't know any Nickelback, no. I didn't feel like playing the whole song because most of it is just repeating that same set of stuff in the chorus and then a couple of extra power chords every now and then. My bros and I jammed that one out though before. You can scroll it back after, TY. No, I played a lot of Skyrim, but I don't play any video games anymore. Will training my rotator cuffs increase my bench? No. No, Bob, I'm not a total beginner. I trained all through high school, or I played all through high school. Then I quit for over 20 years, and I started back about 2 years ago. So almost a 30-year hiatus. But I mean, I had lessons and everything, and then I played in the honors jazz for 1 year in high school. I auditioned for it and got in. I had some guitar lessons when I was like 13 or 14. But I took a really decades off. But I've been back for 2 years, and I'm enjoying it. It's fun. I like it. I'm going to keep getting better. It's one of those things that I feel like if I just keep doing it, I'll get better every year for the next 20 years. Bob, sure you are. So when I go to your channel, I'm going to see all this guitar stuff. Because you sound like just one of these trolls, to be honest. I'm going to check your guitar stuff. I don't see any guitar stuff, and you just created a new channel. Bob, I'm going to make a deal with you. I'm going to make a deal, no, because you could Google the answers. Upload some clips of you playing the guitar so that next time you come in a stream, I can check it. And if I don't see any guitar clips, I'm going to know you're a troll and I'm going to ban you. So I need you to get in the thing and say, I'm Bob Adkins, and then shred some stuff for me. Okay. So, right? All right, what's a pinch harmonic? How's the sound created? You got 10 seconds to give me an answer. So rotating rotator cuffs, you don't need to train your rotator cuffs directly, PS5. All right. Wyatt, that's not actually true. No, that's more of, I guess, if you're finger picking. It's not what pinch harmonics are. Took you a while to do it, but you are technically correct. Yep, that is what a pinch harmonic is. All right. And for those who don't know, I'll quickly plug in and demonstrate a pinch harmonic and what that actually does. And no, I am not an expert by any means. Except that my strap came off. Okay, so when we're talking about the pinch harmonic, he means this. So instead of, it's not, this would be pinch harmonic. Right? Versus, right? Right? So you can do it in a scale if you needed to. So that was kind of the difference. Oh, here's like nails on a chalkboard. All right. So, coach thoughts on equipped powerlifting. I hate equipped powerlifting personally. I think it's ridiculous. I have friends who love it. I have friends who do it. I have real life friends who love it and do it. I can't stand it. Hey, Heater, that wasn't me playing. That was me demonstrating what a pinch harmonic was. Did you miss that point? Because the topic came up. Yeah, my Stratocaster. I don't have the whammy on it at the moment, but I have an American Professional Strat. I don't ever mess with Ramby bars though. No, I don't have anything with a Floyd Rose. All right. All right, guys, we are an hour deep. A little bit of other stuff I want to get done. I think electric's easier. So I'm going to wind it down, though. We're past an hour. I love all of you guys and gals. I'll probably do a coffee chat for you guys in the morning, and I'll talk to you next time, man.